The West Bank erupted in celebration as 90 Palestinian prisoners crossed the threshold to freedom. These men, some imprisoned for years, had been held on charges ranging from minor offenses to more serious security-related allegations. Their release, a key provision in the fragile ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas, marked a moment of collective relief and joy for Palestinians. Families, long separated, embraced with tears and laughter. The sight of these reunions, broadcast across the region, served as a powerful reminder of the human cost of this long-standing conflict. The release, however, was not without controversy. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, facing pressure from right-wing members of his coalition, emphasized the temporary nature of the ceasefire. He stressed that any violation of the agreement by Hamas would be met with swift and decisive retaliation. This cautious approach underscored the deep mistrust and animosity that continues to plague the Israeli-Palestinian relationship. Despite the underlying tensions, the prisoner release offered a glimmer of hope. It served as a potent symbol of what could be achieved through dialogue and compromise, however fragile. For the families of those returning home, it was a day for celebration, a day to savor the simple joy of being reunited. The ceasefire agreement, brokered by the United Nations, Egypt and Qatar, represents a delicate attempt to de-escalate the situation in Gaza. For 15 long months, the people of Gaza have endured a relentless Israeli bombardment, their lives upended by fear and devastation. This latest round of violence has left the already impoverished territory teetering on the brink of a humanitarian catastrophe. The ceasefire calls for a complete cessation of hostilities between Israel and Hamas. This includes an end to rocket fire from Gaza into Israel and a halt to Israeli airstrikes and artillery bombardments. The agreement also facilitates the flow of humanitarian aid into Gaza, a lifeline for a population struggling to survive. Food, water, medicine, and other essential supplies are desperately needed to alleviate the suffering of Gaza's civilian population. Crucially, the ceasefire agreement includes provisions for prisoner exchanges. Hamas, in return for the release of Palestinian prisoners, has agreed to release several Israeli hostages it has held for years. The fate of these hostages, their names etched in the hearts of Israelis, has been a source of national anguish and a major sticking point in negotiations. Their safe return is paramount to any lasting peace. The ceasefire, while fragile, offers a much-needed reprieve from violence. It provides a window of opportunity, however narrow, to address the underlying issues fueling this intractable conflict. The pivotal role of international diplomacy in securing this ceasefire cannot be overstated. The United Nations, Egypt and Qatar, working tirelessly behind the scenes, facilitated dialogue between the two sides. Their efforts underscore the indispensable role of international mediation in resolving complex conflicts. They serve as honest brokers, building trust and facilitating communication where it might otherwise be impossible. The international community has also pledged significant financial assistance to aid in Gaza's reconstruction. Rebuilding shattered infrastructure, homes, hospitals, schools, and water treatment plants is essential to preventing a humanitarian catastrophe. The international community must remain engaged, not just in providing aid, but in holding both sides accountable for upholding the terms of the ceasefire and working towards a lasting peace. The ceasefire, while a positive step, is only the first step on a long and arduous road. True peace, a lasting peace, will require addressing the root causes of the conflict. This includes finding a just and equitable solution to the Palestinian refugee crisis, resolving the status of Jerusalem, and ending the Israeli occupation. The path forward is fraught with challenges. The ceasefire, while offering a respite from violence, remains fragile. Deep mistrust between the two sides, coupled with the potential for spoilers on both sides, could easily unravel the progress made. The fate of the remaining Israeli hostages held by Hamas is a major point of contention. Their safe return is non-negotiable for Israel and a key demand for any future progress. Hamas, for its part, views the hostages as leverage, a bargaining chip in its quest for concessions from Israel. Equally pressing is the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza. The ceasefire has allowed for a much-needed influx of aid, but the scale of destruction is immense. Rebuilding Gaza, not just physically but also socially and economically, will require a sustained and coordinated international effort. The ceasefire, while tenuous, provides a glimmer of hope. It is a testament to the power of diplomacy and a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the pursuit of peace must never be abandoned. The international community must seize this opportunity to push for a lasting and just solution, one that guarantees the security and dignity of both Israelis and Palestinians. Only then can the cycle of violence be broken, and a new era of peace and prosperity dawn in this troubled land.